I got my wisdom teeth removed at 16. I grew up in a small, remote, white Canadian town. We had to travel to a slightly larger, slightly less remote town to visit the hospital there for the procedure. The new anesthesiologist there was a very nice, Chinese doctor whose family had just moved up from the city. Now, and this is important later, I had just returned from a year away. I spent a year of high school as an exchange student in Taiwan and had only gotten back a few weeks earlier. Procedure happens, nothing major goes wrong, and I come to a hospital room in a fair bit of pain but mostly fine. My dad had driven me to the hospital and came in to see me and get me up to take me home. The minute he saw me, he burst into a laughing fit, and I could tell from his face that he'd been laughing about as hard as anyone could laugh. Once he finally found his composure, he explained to me what had happened. The anesthesiologist and a nurse came out of the waiting room after I was put under, and they were clearly white as ghosts. My dad asked if anything was wrong, and eventually the anesthesiologist, still in a daze, explained to my dad that after he administered the anesthesia but before I was fully out of it, I began speaking to him in influent Mandarin and that he thought maybe he needed to call someone to ask how it's possible that this redneck white teenager could suddenly gain the ability to speak Chinese under anesthesia. Needless to say, my dad thought this was hilarious and explained to the doctor's relief that the white kid already knew how to speak Mandarin and that he hadn't damaged my brain somehow.